it's Lynn with Littlefoot Nursery, and I'm here with baby Maylee. And a lot of you guys probably forgot that I had this baby, those of you guys who've been watching my channel for a while. And I have to admit that I sort of almost forgot about her too, because she was kept in a different room than the rest of my collection. I'm a little bit paranoid that she might be tin silicone, because somebody did sort of warn me about that. So, yeah, and tin silicone is not supposed to touch your vinyls or and especially not your regular platinum silicones. But I wasn't sure. I thought she was the dragonskin. I can't tell. And one of the issues, talked about on the doll forum was that the tin silicones can break down. I have not noticed any issues with Maylee with regards to like the quality of her silicone or anything like that. She seems like everything seems like in perfect condition to me. Um, she is about a 10-year-old baby too. Like I think she's 9 years old. I think she came out in 2008. But for those of you guys who aren't familiar with her, she is obviously an older baby. She was sculpted by Tasha Edenholm. And yeah, and I actually am her fourth mommy, technically. I adopted her from a lady off of Doll Fan. And I'm actually going to give her a little bit of a spritz. I'm just going to spruce up her, comb her hair a little bit because she has not had her hair combed or styled in a while. And I'm just using a really soft toothbrush just to kind of comb it. It feels like it works pretty well. So just kind of being careful. And with silicone, it's tough because hair does tend to come out. And it can shed for sure. Yeah, so the one thing with Maylee is like I did root a little bit of hair for her on the back because she was totally balding in the back. So she's definitely looks a lot better than when I first got her. And some of you guys, and I actually thought to do a video of her because somebody actually requested to see her. And she's really cute, you guys. She's super cute. And in terms of the clothes that I put on her, I'm not sure, 100% sure she is tin silicone, but since she might be tin silicone, I decided to only put clothes on her that I don't mind washing. So she's not going to be wearing probably the more expensive brands that I've purchased. I'd like to keep those looking pristine. But yeah, I'll be totally fine with her wearing Carter's and some of the brands that are not quite as expensive, that I'm okay just saying, okay, with these clothes, I'll be just fine washing them. And you can see I actually put a white onesie on her because I felt like this yellow showed a little too much skin, but it looked a little weird on her. Oh, she's really cute with just a onesie, you guys. Isn't she cute? Yeah, she's got full limbs and everything, but yeah, so anyway, we did a little outing as a family, and I took her along for the ride in the car, and it was actually really nice to hold her. Ever since I kind of restuffed her and reweighted her, I definitely like how she feels a lot better. Okay, and I'm thinking about actually restuffing Millie, who's my olive, just because her body feels like beans. And, I'd prefer more polyfill and just to have a little bit more of a realistic feel. So thinking about doing that. I'm a little scared though because she's an expensive doll, and I don't know that I want to mess with how the artist weighted her. But I'm thinking about doing it. And what I might do is I might just save her. I'll save her beads and everything in a separate bag and just put it away. So in the event that I ever decide to sell her, her new mommy can have the original stuffing if she wants to use that, So that may be what I do. Okay, so I'm putting newborn size on her. I think she should be able to fit newborn. I didn't even show you guys what outfit I'm going to put on her. It's a t-shirt with overalls. And I have not put this on her before. In fact, I don't even know if any of my babies have worn this outfit yet. It's like you have so many baby clothes, and so Maylee, you get to be my guinea pig. Yeah, and I want to chat a little bit after, and I'll do this while I get her dressed, about how to find an affordable silicone. And that's a great topic to talk about with Maylee with me, because I got her for a very affordable price. Oh, she's cute. I almost just want to like keep her in her diaper. Isn't that cute, you guys? She's got a really, really sweet expression. But, oh yeah, but I was going to say, you know, kind of taking her out today, definitely felt like a lot more bonded with her. So I'm kind of thinking I might want to have her be the baby that gets to hang out with me while I watch TV tonight. That would be cool. Oh, this is cute. Okay, so, okay, honey. All right. Let's see. I'll use the second button, give her a little bit more room. I don't know lengthwise of how we're going to do here. This is a little awkward. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to just lift her up for a second here. I'm going to go ahead and do the top button. I don't think she actually needs all that length. I'm a little perplexed. I think this is supposed to go above the knee. I think they're short-alls. But, yeah, it looks like that should work. Okay. That's pretty cute on her. Okay. All right, so let's see how she's looking here. You guys see her well enough? Let me try to kind of tilt her head. There we go. Oh, she's a darling. Yeah, so yeah, in terms of like my bond with her, I really hadn't handled her very much the last few months. And so she was kind of almost again, like in my mind, on the chopping block. But then I thought, you know, what my husband said is true. There aren't that many Asian silicone babies, and he's like, oh, she looks really helpless. You know, if you guys remember, I had a video titled "My Husband Wants Me to Keep Silicone Maylee," and that was what he said to me at the time. He's like, yeah, she looks like really helpless, and she's cute. You know, I think you should keep her. You know, she's probably really hard to find. And then it was cute because today we were like driving together, and I just kind of had her in my lap in the front seat, and he said, oh, how many were in her edition? And you know, she was 1 of 10. She's actually number 1 out of 10. She's the artist proof. And unfortunately I don't have any of her paperwork because her last mommy lost it, which is such a bummer. But yeah, but I am glad I have her. She was a great price. She was basically like a reborn price essentially. So, but yeah, in terms of finding affordable silicones, I've had a lot of questions along those lines from those of you guys who have like watched my videos where you've seen like Maggie, for example, and I've kind of asked like, oh, how can I find one like her? Maggie is not a good example of an affordable silicone. She is the most expensive silicone I've ever purchased. and yeah, she's a dream baby. So she may not be necessarily a starter silicone, although my video where I was giving advice for new collectors, if it were me, I would just save my money and like hold out for the baby that really makes your heart sing, because I think it can be, otherwise you can kind of get in a cycle of buying baby after baby, buying and selling, and probably each time you sell you probably have to incur a little bit of a loss. So it's much better if you can have the willpower to just hold out and get a dream baby. I do still recommend that. But I will say, for some of us, even if we say forever, and maybe you're a student, and I know when I was a student, I had no money, at all as a student. I was like paying off loans and just, kind of making ends meet. So maybe you'd really do like buying something on the affordable side. And for silicone babies, I would classify that as, less than $1,000. Like maybe that's all you can afford right now, or for the foreseeable future. And that's totally okay. With silicones, it can be harder to find a good deal. But if you are open to, for example, an older silicone baby, like, so for example, Maylee is, almost 10 years old. The risk you take is you don't know, you know, if everything has a shelf life, you don't know how much longer that doll will last. And if you buy an older silicone and it happens to be a tin silicone, it could break, at some point. And that is a risk you have to take. But balance that with, okay, what price am I getting that baby for? There's a very generous collector on Dolphin who, she had two tin silicone babies, who both had issues. One of them, the two legs snapped off, and then the other one, I think, had a tear or something like that. And she made the very generous gesture and decision to just give those babies away to whoever was willing to pay shipping. And I think she ended up doing a drawing. So as of the time of my filming this, she had not drawn the names yet. And I did decide to enter. I've been very blessed with a lot of wonderful babies, but I also thought, maybe I could try to fix the doll up a bit and possibly do a giveaway on my channel, to somebody who, would love to have the opportunity to own one. So anyway, it's a long shot that I would even win, but that was kind of my thought process behind entering. But anyway, you can find deals if you look for them. And I do highly recommend purchasing a Dolphin membership. It's $20 a year. I recommend getting on there and learning all you can about the hobby, reading threads, interacting, asking questions. It's a great place for that. And there are a lot of very experienced collectors, on the forum, who the ladies are really nice. They're happy to answer your questions. And so the other thing, I would do, and I've said this on some of my other videos, is in terms of where to look for silicones, the two main places that I'm aware of are really eBay or, on Dolphin, the silicones for sale section. And okay, I'm going to add a third place. Facebook is another place where you can find silicone babies for sale. And I feel like I like Dolphin because I feel like the people who are on there are serious. They've invested the money for the membership, and I don't only just look at the feedback for the member posting the doll for sale, but I also look at how frequently, like how involved are they in the community. Do they post regularly? If there's someone who posts a lot, chances are they're kind of a reputable member of the community and someone you can probably trust more than someone who just joined. But if they just join, that doesn't mean you can't trust them at all. I would just say you have to take some extra precautions, like asking for a safety picture. And for those of you guys who don't know what a safety picture is, it's basically a photo of the doll with a piece of paper, and the seller should ideally write their name, the date, and something else, but basically something to show that it's a little time sensitive, so they can take a photo, send it to you, and essentially prove that the doll is in their possession. That's what it is. The other, and some, I see some experienced sellers also posting dolls with safety pictures as well. The other thing too is, if you don't have much feedback on Dolphin, but you are, but you are a 100% feedback eBay buyer or seller, it's good to reference your eBay ID as well. So that's another way. You know, and when I was trying to buy Noah, my Gabigail, and there's so much interest in him. Like Jenna could have picked so many different people to be his mommy, and I'm so so lucky that I got him. I had a few feedback on Dolphin, but not a lot. And I did send her a link to my YouTube channel. I sent her a link to my Facebook, my eBay ID, and I just kind of wanted to reassure her that I was a reliable person, essentially, and also, my argument was also like, oh, okay, if if I become Noah's mom, you'll see him on my channel. So if you ever miss him, you can always hop on and watch one of his videos. And so, but I'm kind of getting a little bit off topic. Going back to kind of like finding an affordable silicone, I really think you can find some amazing deals on Dolphin, but you have to check daily and, maybe even twice a day, and just check regularly, because sometimes the wonderful dolls that are like the sellers like letting them go for an amazing price, sometimes those dolls get snatched up so fast and you don't even have, like, before you even had time to respond. So if you see something that you like, you need to act quickly. You will also notice that sometimes people are selling both on Dolphin and eBay, and they'll have a higher price on eBay than they do on Dolphin, and that's because eBay takes a 10% cut. So it's just something to keep in mind, that a lot of ladies prefer to sell on Dolphin, so they're not losing so much of the sales price to the eBay fees. So anyway, it's just something to keep in mind. I'm just going to, for a second here, pick Miss Maylee up, show you guys the back of her cute little overall outfit. And yeah, she wears newborn size, but I think she can also wear some 3 months. So she's so cute. But yeah, I think that's mainly what I have to say about the topic. You guys probably saw my other video. I do have a couple of Ivita dolls, and I really kind of bought them as play dolls for Audrey. And it was before I knew that they had copied a sculpt. So, I can't recommend them with good conscience, just because, and I will also say this, they don't have details. It basically is kind of like buying just like a blank kit, because they have no paint, they're really limited painting. They don't look too detailed, but they are a cheaper option. But I don't think they have the realism. Like, if you take that baby out, it doesn't look real. Not in my opinion. But yeah, I would just definitely recommend looking out for one secondhand. Or another option for affording your dream baby is to do layaway. A lot of the big artists do offer a layaway plan. I have Eleanor on layaway, even though technically I could probably raid my savings and again for the whatever 4th time this year, raid my savings again and just pay for her in full. I don't want to do that. I'd rather kind of space out my payments over time. I have plenty of babies to like occupy my attention in the meantime. And so, yeah, so with Eleanor, so that's another option. Like, if you have a dream baby, but you have to really make sure that you can budget the amounts and make the payments on time. Erica did a great video recently about just the kind of dangers of layaway, because if let's say you've paid, partially paid for the baby, but then for something happens and you can't finish your payments, you might forfeit kind of the amounts that you paid, or forfeit some kind of deposit amount. So it can be a little bit dangerous in that respect. But it does make, but the ability to make payments, it does make it a little bit more affordable. So if there's a baby that you really, really want, and a lot of sellers won't accept layaway, but some do. I know for the babies that like Evelyn, for example, I'm considering allowing layaway. And I apologize, guys, because by the time you guys see this video, Evelyn might be sold, but as of the time of this filming, she's not sold yet. So, but you know, there are a couple ladies who are interested in her but would need to do layaways. So I'm totally, and I think I'm okay with it as long as it's not like a super long layaway. But if it's like a month or two, I think I can work with that. So anyway, I'm trying to think what else I should cover in terms of finding affordable silicones. It's yeah, it's tough. I mean, the other thing that you could do is take a silicone painting class. Now, Susan Gibbs teaches a painting class at the Rose Doll Show and the IDTNS doll show as well. Unfortunately, both classes are sold out for next summer. But if you are interested in the class, maybe what you should do is like next summer after the shows are over, message her and say, hey, I missed out on the silicone painting class this year. I would love to take it next year. Could you put me on your list of people to notify once you decide to offer the class? And with Susan, like I actually didn't even do that with her, but you know, we're friends on Facebook, and you know, I comment on her, you know, posts and vice versa. And she actually messaged me on Facebook and just kind of mentioned like, hey, I have this silicone painting class I'm taking at Rose. Are you interested? And I wrote her back. I was like, yeah, totally interested. She says, yeah, I only have a few spots left. And then basically by the time she posted it on Rose, but basically by the time that class was posted on the Rose Doll Show website, all the spots except for one spot were sold. So, so yeah, it can go so fast. And so that's just my advice if you want to get into her class maybe for next year. I was basically kind of debating, I would either take her class or take the beginning rooting class. And since her class is so hard to get into, I decided to go ahead and just get my spot since I could. But what's cool is, you know, we're going to paint a baby in the class. She's going to provide it's going to be a mini silicone, but a 10-inch mini silicone baby that's being sculpted exclusively for the class. And you know, the class fee is expensive. It's about $500, but then what's cool is by the end of the class, you learn how to paint silicone, and then you get to take home a baby, which is awesome. So that can be another way to get a silicone baby. So anyway, but yeah, and you guys might, you know, kind of be thinking, you might be curious about silicone, but you might not even know if you like silicone. So, you know, if you can get yourself to a doll show and you can see some silicones up close, then and feel one and hold one, then that'll really help you in terms of really deciding if you like it or not. So, I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this chat was informative and helpful for some of you. None of my silicone babies are for sale right now. Just Jenna and Evelyn, and Jenna is already spoken for. So if you guys are watching this and you go back and check Evelyn's video and it's not marked sold, because once she is sold, I will go ahead and mark that video so you guys all know. But if she's not marked sold and you are interested in her, please feel free to email me at littlefootnursery1@gmail.com, and I'm happy to send you pictures, happy to answer any questions you have. Our home is smoke-free and pet-free, and my babies are my babies in my personal collection are also kept in our room, you know, away from the kids and, you know, away from people's curious hands, and so they're kept in a very safe place and, you know, really handled carefully. So anyway, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. It was great to hang out with you guys today, and I will see you on the next video. Maylee says bye.